In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on July 27, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Los Angeles Dodgers versus Boston Red Sox. The Los Angeles Dodgers and Boston Red Sox are set to face off on Sunday in some MLB action over at Fenway Park. The Dodgers haven't been great at covering the run line this year, managing it in only about 43.7% of their games overall, and roughly 44.4% when they're playing away from home. They've done a bit better as away underdogs with a 7-5 record there, but their run line differential sits at a negative 0.3, which really shows how up and down they've been when it comes to beating those spreads. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have held up better, covering half of their games in total and a solid 57.7% when they're at home. They've been especially strong as home underdogs, covering 66.7% of those spots with a nice positive run line differential of plus 2.6. Add in Boston's strong 33-21 record on their home turf and how well they handle tight games, and it's clear the Red Sox look like the better bet here. This game's got some real intrigue since both Dustin May and Walker Buehler have been off their game for most of the season. The Dodgers have looked pretty ragged through a lot of the second half, so laying money on them as favorites doesn't sit right with me. If there's any spark here, it might come from Buehler getting fired up. He did spend his first 7 years in the league with the Dodgers, after all. Plus, he's been sharper lately in July, giving up just 19 hits and 6 earned runs over his past 18 innings. As our first pick for this matchup, the Boston Red Sox money line is our full game side pick. These two squads have both been part of plenty of games that rack up the runs this season. The Dodgers have gone over the total in 54.5% of their matchups, and that jumps to 60% against non-league teams, proving they can light up the scoreboard even against pitchers they don't see often. The Red Sox aren't far behind, hitting the over in 49% of their games overall and 53.1% in those non-league spots, so they've got a habit of pushing past those expected run lines too. Lately, both teams' games have trended toward more scoring, and with starters Dustin May and Walker Buehler both dealing with some rough patches, plus the hitting power in these lineups, this one could easily turn into a shootout. If you're betting, jumping on the over feels like a smart move here. The shaky arms on the mound mixed with bats that can do damage set up a prime spot for a bunch of runs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona Diamondbacks versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The Arizona Diamondbacks, sitting at 51-53 with a 49-55 run line record and 52-46-6 on the over-under, are wrapping up a 3-game set against the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 42-62 with a 52-52 run line and 41-63 over-under this Sunday afternoon. The Arizona Diamondbacks are in a rough patch right now, having lost 3 out of their last 4 games. They're dealing with all sorts of distractions too, since they might be shipping out a couple of important players in trades this week. On the flip side, the Pittsburgh Pirates came into this series hot after sweeping Detroit. They're tough to handle on their home field, where they're 4 games over .500. On top of that, Arizona's starter Zach Gallen is having a rough go this season. He's let in 5 or more runs in 4 of his last 6 starts, Rosen 6, and that includes coughing up 6 runs just earlier this week. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's Paul Skeens is still looking sharp as ever. The guy's an ace. He tossed 6 shutout innings against Detroit recently and has held teams to 0 runs in 3 of his past 4 starts. I see why some folks might lean toward the Diamondbacks here, since it's no fluke that Paul Skeens boasts an earned run average under 2 but still has a losing record overall. Most of the time, his team's bats just aren't giving him enough runs to work with. That said, there are games where a slim 2 to 3 runs do the trick for the Pirates star because he's that locked in, and I figure this is one of those spots with the Diamondbacks seeming like a group that's just going through the motions at this point. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. Skeens through 6.2 innings without allowing a run against Arizona back in May. The guy's a beast in his home park. He hasn't given up a single run in his last 2 starts there. The Diamondbacks bats have been pretty silent lately, putting up only 13 runs across their past 5 games heading into Saturday. In addition, even though the Pirates put up a solid showing at the plate in their series against the Tigers earlier this week, they're still one of the weakest hitting teams across the majors. Lately, the Diamondbacks pitchers haven't been the problem, giving up 4 runs or less in 5 out of their last 6 outings. They blanked the Pirates in the first game of this set. The under has cashed in 4 of the Pirates' previous 5 contests. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia Phillies versus New York Yankees. The Philadelphia Phillies sitting at 59-44 and the New York Yankees at 56-47 are wrapping up their big interleague clash this Sunday afternoon. Both squads have slipped out of the top spot in their divisions, but the Yankees have taken a harder tumble. They're now 5.5 games back of the Blue Jays, while the Phillies might climb back to first by the time this series ends. The huge story for New York is that Aaron Judge is sitting out the rest of these games, which yanks the top hitter in the game off the field. That's going to hurt the Yankees bad, especially up against Wheeler, who's sitting in the top 10 for earned run average across the majors. Wheeler's been stingy lately, letting in 2 runs or less in 4 of his past 5 starts, and that includes blanking the Padres and Astros without a single run. The Phillies bats are firing on all cylinders right now, with Schwarber leading the charge after smashing 2 homers just on Friday. You could argue for the Yankees at home with Rodon throwing, but they've been stacking up losses left and right, and it's tough to trust them these days, especially with those jacked up betting lines most nights. The Phillies are rolling through a solid week, and with Wheeler on the hill sporting a 2.39 earned run average and 0.88 WHIP, they're looking sharp. In his 56 innings on the road, Wheeler's got a 2.89 earned run average and holding hitters to a .201 average. Plus, he's only given up 7 earned runs over his last 46 innings. As our first pick for this matchup, the Philadelphia Phillies money line is our full game side pick. Rodon takes the ball for the Yankees, and he's been putting together a quietly solid year up in the Bronx. He's only let in 2 runs total across his last 13 innings, and he's sitting 8th in the league for strikeouts with 139 on the season. Wheeler's having another strong run too. His earned run average ranks 7th overall, and he's racked up even more Ks, tied for 2nd with 164. These teams exploded for runs on Friday, but things should settle back down, especially with the Yankees in a rut and now missing Judge. Look for a game that stays low on the scoreboard, with 2 solid arms going and no Aaron Judge in the mix. That's steering us right to this choice. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Colorado Rockies versus Baltimore Orioles. The Colorado Rockies, with a tough 27-76 record, and the Baltimore Orioles, sitting at 45-58, are set to finish off their 3-game series this Sunday afternoon. The Orioles let the opener slip away in this series, but they're rolling out the stronger arm today and have generally been the tougher team all year long, so I expect them to bounce back and grab the victory. Colorado's got Gomber taking the hill, and it feels like they can't buy a win whenever he's out there. Their staff's been leaking runs with an earned run average north of 6, and the Rockies have dropped every single one of his past 6 starts. He's been tagged for a homer in each of his last 4 outings, and that includes his latest one where he surrendered 5 runs to the Cardinals. On the flip side, Baltimore's countering with Sugano, who's got the better earned run average and a sharper ratio of strikeouts to walks. No doubt, the Orioles are going to send the Rockies packing with another defeat. As our first pick for this matchup, the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. The opener in this series sailed over the total, and now we've got Gomber and Sugano starting, both lugging around earned run averages higher than 4.5. Gomber got roughed up last time out, coughing up 11 hits and 5 runs, and the Rockies are just 1-6 in his 7 turns on the mound this year. Sugano's holding a better win-loss mark, but he's been leaky too, allowing 3 or more earned runs in all of his past 5 starts, including that ugly one against the Rays where he gave up 7 and Tampa ended up exploding for 22 in the game. Looks like we're in for more fireworks with the scoreboard. Neither of these guys has shown the stuff to keep things quiet and low scoring in a spot like this. As our second pick for this matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Detroit Tigers. On Sunday, the Toronto Blue Jays are set to take on the Detroit Tigers over at Comerica Park. The Tigers are stumbling into this one fresh off yet another rough defeat on Saturday, and they're scrambling hard to turn things around. They've held their own at home with a 32-21 record this season, while the Blue Jays are hovering right around even on the road at 26-25. Toronto's in a totally different spot than Detroit. They're on fire lately and clicking on all cylinders. The Jays have Scherzer on the mound, and he's been shaky, giving up 7 earned runs and 10 hits across his last 11 innings. Detroit's countering with Flaherty, who's led in 3 earned runs in 3 of his past 5 outings. I'm not exactly eager to put money on the Tigers, but if they've got any fight left in them, they'll step up and snag a victory against the guy who used to pitch for them. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. Scherzer's only managed to hold just one opponent to 3 runs or fewer lately, and he's got the backing of one of the top bullpens in the game with a 3.54 earned run average and 1.19 WHIP. The Tigers might finally snap out of their hitting drought tomorrow. They're dead last at 29th in WRC plus over the past couple of weeks, but don't count on it happening for sure. Flaherty's no easy out when he's pitching at Comerica Park, where he's come through strong in 7 out of his 9 starts there. I figure he'll grind through about 6 innings or so, easing the load on Detroit's relievers and keeping the Blue Jays' bats under control. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.